Hi, this is Melissa, your free range psychic, and I did a video on John Kelly, a tarot reading, uh, but I had such a hard time doing it. I think I tried to do it about 6 times. The first four, I would go the whole way through and only get a second of the video, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. So finally, I did it a couple more times, but by then I was a little stressed out. But I didn't want to have to do it all over again because I do like the final version. I thought that was all right, but at the same time, what I edited out was important, and I just wanted to kind of fill you in before you watched it. So this video is in the context of John Kelly having been appointed to the, or not appointed, but hired to be on the board of, I think it's called Homestead Security Center for Unaccompanied Minors, or yeah, and migrant minors. So he apparently had a relationship with the parent company, which is it's now it's kind of convoluted. So it's now Caliburn, but it was DC Capital, and apparently he was employed by DC Capital whilst he was still in the government. I think in 2017 it was called out by some paper called The Intercept, and he had to resign that job. So um, the other scandal with that is that he actually helped implement policies that he is now going to profit on regarding migrant children coming into this country and where they're housed. And this is going to be, it's in or on the outskirts of Miami, and it's the largest camp for children, um, uh, or I should say prison for migrant children in the country. I think it's going to expand out to like 3,500 beds. So I, as I was watching the video, I thought, well, maybe I really should include this because you kind of need to know it. Otherwise, I don't think the reading makes as much sense. So that being the case, let's get to it. Hi, I'm Melissa, your free range psychic, and today I'm going to do a guided tarot reading using the Gilded Tarot by Sarah Marchetti. My spirit guides chose these cards. I saw them psychically, and then I fished them out of the deck. So before I get into that reading, I want to ask us to surround ourselves with white light to protect ourselves. Also, I just keep on forgetting to do this. I've um, uh, tried to remember in other videos to thank you, all my wonderful subscribers. I so appreciate it. I love your comments, and just thank you for subscribing to my channel. So regarding John Kelly, just like with William Barr, it seems to me that we whitewashed him. Nobody questioned him. Nobody really looked into his background because his background is really frightening. Everybody just thought John Kelly was going to come in and save the day. He was going to at least be the adult in the room, and he was going to, protect us from Trump, and he was going to protect Trump from himself, I guess. Uh, but what people don't know about him was that he is very much like Stephen Miller, and that he was the general in chief of Guantanamo Bay during its most cruel and darkest time regarding treatment of those prisoners. So it's frustrating, to see how we get fooled into accepting these people when really they're people who shouldn't be in government, but somehow they get whitewashed. It's too bad that happens. So I just wanted you to know a few things about him. Uh, so that so this is a very dark reading, and just Yeah, if it's too dark for you, I don't blame you for, checking out. And this is not based in fact. The other part was because the information I gave you, but this is not. This is just what my guides are saying to me. So the hangman, according to my guides, represents um, John Kelly being chained to his perversions, to his lower self. And basically, and I'm reading from my notes here, they're saying that he literally has sold his soul to the devil to fulfill his lust for power and control. But they also said that, and they brought this up, that in his sexual life, actually, it's like a mirror image of his public life because he's a sadomasochist, but sexually he's a masochist, and he employs dominatrix. That is his, um, uh, yeah, preference. Uh, so they said that yeah, like if you think about the things he did to the people, the prisoners in Guantanamo Bay, yeah, he kind of enjoys those things being done to him, strangely enough. And that he's not sexually, I hope, but that he's going to be sadomasochistic with the children in the camps, and he's putting them in situations that are causing misery and suffering unnecessary. Well, all of that is unnecessary, but trying to implement as much misery and suffering as he can, and get away with it legally, I guess. And also putting the people who are going to be working with those children in situations where they are subverting their own integrity because the policies will be sadistic and they will then have to be sadistic with the children. I guess it will be up to them whether or not they want to keep their job. So on top is the devil. And my guide said, the man is full on evil. All these Trump people seem to get the devil. It might not be a far-fetched thing to say. And again, this is according to my guides, that he is actually in satanic practice. I've often wondered that about Trump, Kelly, other members, not just of this administration, but of administrations past. Cheney, but they say that John Kelly worships the devil and tries to emulate the devil. Near past is the Seven of Swords, and this they say is John Kelly retreating, leaving his position of power with the government, only to come back for these, leaving with all of the things that he was able to gain, working for, as or not working for, but being, over Guantanamo, and being the Homeland Security chief, and then the chief of staff. Uh, he's leaving with them, but then he's looking back. He's going to come back for these two swords, which is what he's doing now. To each one allowing him to go higher up the rung of power and hierarchy to fulfill his lust for control and dominance, and also to there's, even though this isn't a pentacle, there's money in there too, which is represented by the Prince of the Page of Pentacles. And my guides say about this card, that's one huge lucrative uh, opportunity there. And I read somewhere, not with this particular company, or they may have owned this camp, I don't know, but one particular migrant camp charged like $700 per day per person. And I'm sure they're charging, as much for other services. So there's a lot of money to be made, and he's pretty happy about that, Cha-ching. And the near future is the Five of Swords. And my guide said about this card, as soon as he starts this new position, with Caliburn or with the shelter. He wants to go full force with his evil intent, and that he will start doing that very quickly. So they're telling me he's literally been salivating about the opportunities here with these poor vulnerable children. Um, and they say that he's the worst possible person for this job. But in the clarifying card, Ten of Swords, look at that, it's John Kelly underneath those swords. They're saying that fortunately he will be stopped in his tracks, something to do with the FBI investigation into his money laundering, whilst serving with the government, and other criminal activities that he carried out while in the Trump administration. And also the prison contractors themselves, or the camp contractors, are going to be embroiled in this scandal, and that they're all in big trouble, and that the scandal will break in the next few months. And then they want to say, follow the money. The outcome card, the Tower. I'll get this. The Trump administration people all get this card too. And that's John Kelly falling out of the tower. And then when you see this lightning striking the tower here, that's illumination. They're saying illumination on John Kelly's evil deeds, and spells disaster for John. John Kelly is unmasked. Oh, so let's surround ourselves with white light and dissolve any negativity that's come upon us from that reading. Ask our guardian angels, our angels, to dispel that. And I also wanted to say something also about this that does relate to this, but it's really about us. So I've noticed, during this administration, they really utilize, the Trump administration and their publicists and whoever controls their narrative, their talking points. They really utilize these portals of time of uncertainty to gin up fear and gin up disempowerment amongst the population, and create division. And that these memes start going around, like getting angry at the Democrats, like they're not doing anything. Well, right, the report just came out several weeks ago. All this stuff is a process. Why get angry at the Democrats? We should be being angry at Trump. And so they're diffusing our anger, they're diffusing our focus, and trying to create fear, trying to create disempowerment at a time when we don't need to be wasting our energy and disconnecting ourselves from our own power source. We need to rise above even turning off the news for a period of time. I'm not saying to not be informed, but to not fall victim to the fear mongering, and connect with our higher source, connect with our true spiritual selves, our true spiritual realities, and understand that we are as much part of this manifestation of reality as anybody else. We can change things via our energy. We're learning that. We are co-creators of what is and what it will be. So if we disconnect and we move into our fear, then that is what we I'm not saying that it's our fault, but that it makes us weak, and it spreads the fear, because our fear infects others. It's really important right now to stay in our love, our compassion, our peace, and our higher awareness of our spiritual reality, to really work on that. And I asked for a card for us, and my guides gave me the Queen of Cups. And so this card, if you notice, this woman, she's staying in her compassionate self and her receptive self. She's holding a cup of love. Even though it's dark and gloomy around her, there's light breaking through. And look at the light. The light's just right, connecting to her eyes, her face. So she's staying in the light, even though there's dark clouds around her, and she's maintaining love in her cup. That's what they're telling me about this card regarding us. So stay in this place. Be aware of the beauty around you. Um, you know, life is magic. Life is a miracle, and we're here to manifest. We're here to take our power right now, and men and women both, to access this the feminine side of ourselves, the receptive, loving, compassionate aspects of ourselves, and making that our strength. So I want to thank you for watching this video. Thank you, all my wonderful supporters. If you want a personal reading, you can contact me. I left my contact information below. Also, if you like or enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe to my channel. Looking forward to the next reading, which will be pretty soon. Take care.